MyMilkCratez.
Pat Cooper's on the phone. Hey, Pat.
How are you?
How are you, man?
Listen, what's doing?
Good to hear from you, by the way.
I love you.
By the way, the guy in the wheelchair, the president's lawyer, is Charles Ruff.
Yes.
That's his name. Didn't he? Hey, Pat, you must have read that. You read a lot of stuff. Didn't that guy lose his legs?
Who?
Charles Ruff?
I don't know. No. He had some kind of a disease. You mean the lawyer?
Yeah, but didn't he get the disease, like, overseas? He was
Yes.
Yeah, where was he?
Who the hell? Probably the Yucatan. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, right, Yucatan.
Where's that?
I knew Pat would know that.
All right, listen.
What?
I'm listening to this morning. This young gentleman, this comedian you just had on.
Bob Schimmel.
Yeah, it seems like a nice guy. You tell Bob, don't feel bad. They put Richard Belzer's name in the voting that he wasn't even on the show.
What do you mean?
In other words, I was on the Drew Carey roast.
Right, you were great on that.
Well, beside the point, but I'm bringing a point out, so this guy shouldn't feel bad. And I love Richard Belzer personally and professionally.
Right.
But they put him as one of the funniest guys on that particular show. He was never there.
He wasn't even on the show.
That's right. So, meanwhile, they sent out voting, and they had Richard Belzer as one of the best comics on the Drew Carey show. He wasn't even there.
And are you nominated?
No, me. I don't get nominated for broccoli.
Well, everybody go to ComedyCentral.com and write in Pat Cooper's name.
I don't want that.
No.
Howard.
Come on.
Howard.
How could that? You were the funniest guy on there.
We know that, but that's beside the point. You're dealing with, that Slater guy runs this thing. He said, well, it must have been an error. I said, no, that's no error. That's a lot of cons.
Did you call the guy?
Well, I had a buddy of mine call him, and Slater said, well, it must be a typographical error. I said, your ass was a typographical error.
Oh, come on.
How dare you?
Pat, isn't it George Schlaughter?
Yeah, Slaughter. Who the hell cares?
Yeah, right. Oh, that ain't right. That's not right.
No,
Pat,
but I want this guy to understand that this is all politics. They don't go for the best. They go for who they like. Comedy Central takes care of their own people.
Right. They give awards to who they think the people want to see on the award show.
Listen, we've had some good people on that show weren't even nominated.
Right.
That's a disgrace.
That's wrong, man.
That's okay. I don't look for awards because my award is when I'm doing great. They can all go kiss my ass.
I hear you.
Anyway, you be well. Have a safe trip.
Where are you appearing these days?
I'm going to be. I sold out Foxwood Saturday night, and you tell Jack Martling that Westbury. I've worked it 100 times. One of the finest theaters in the world.
Right.
He's going to have a great time. You have a safe trip, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Stay angry.
This is one of my good mornings.
Pat Cooper.
Hey, listen, Robin.
Yes.
Don't worry about yesterday's over.
Oh, it's not. It's over for me. It's not over for Howard.
Don't bring me into it.
Listen to me. It's over.
He brings it up every
Even
morning.
Pat sees some anger in you.
Pat sees some anger.
I see anger in the Pope.
Okay, Pat. Thanks, man. Love you too, man.
I think Mother Teresa was an angry woman.
Right. Pat never felt up his kids, I'll tell you that.
Oh, he never got near him.
His wife had a restraining order. He's great, man.
He never lived in the same house.
Pat Cooper. A lot of anger there. Talk about anger. I wonder if Pat's ever been in therapy.
Oh, no. Are you kidding?
Imagine.
I'd be scared.
That's a show.
Really, there's a therapist who's out of town every week.
My father never did nothing. I don't care, though. Well, it sounds like you care. I don't care.
90.
I make 90, they take 40. Pat Cooper yells at his breakfast. All right, listen.
Play word association. They can't come up with one word that doesn't make sense.
All right, we got to take a break, Robin. When we come back, we have news for you. I have a couple of tapes we got to play for you. A lot of stuff still on this show. We'll be back right after.
Who this?
Rob, go ahead. You there? Oh, whoops. Rob, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Good morning to the king of all media and the queen of all Schwarzen.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Howard, I was in Boston last week, and I was walking down Newbury Street, and I saw a small crowd of people. I went over, and it was Richard Simmons with some Yensa, must have been his agent or publicist, having lunch out at a cafe. So people are asking questions, and I yell out, Richard, when are you going to patch things up with Howard and reappear on the show? We miss you. And he goes into this whole explanation about how you disappointed him by not taking him to Prince of Tides, and how he named one of your kids, I think it was Ashley. Howard, he started to cry. I mean, it wasn't bawling, but his eyes, you could see they were getting red, and his voice was cracking. He said he chose furniture for your house. You were mean and nasty to him.
That's a lie.
Furniture for your house?
It's a lie.
He said you were mean and nasty to him last time he was...
He didn't name my kid. He said, hey, you know what's a nice name, Ashley? I mean, it's not like he thought of the name. It's not like he named my kid, Kelvar 1.
He made it sound as if he's the
Well, listen.
behind.
Obviously,
he still remembers the Prince of Tides thing.
I mean, obviously, he is as close to a mental patient as a human being can come without being locked up.
You know what's incredible? The power.
I get so worked up about a movie.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, he stopped doing my show because he no longer needed me. He's a liar.
The power of celebrity never ceases to amaze me. I mean, if this guy worked at Dwayne Reed or UPS, he'd be laughed at all day.
Right.
I mean, he's a white guy with an afro. He's wearing everything but a pink tutu.
Right.
And he makes Mark Harris look like he's part of the Teamsters Union. He's so effeminate.
I know, he's a freak show.
He's a freak show.
And if that guy was at work, they would goof on him till he shot everyone in the place.
And
Till he went postal.
Yeah.
the crowd was looking at him like it was Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, what?
The crowd was looking at him like it was Jesus Christ.
Right. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Howard.
It is true. Celebrity is a funny thing, Even me, the way I walk around, people would stone me the way I look.
If you didn't have celebrity.
I didn't have celebrity. It's a very odd thing. We have some great guests here for you today. Pat Cooper is here, who I love. Guy's so funny. He's...
That must be some green room. Are they all in there together?
Yeah, Mark Harris is in there, too.
Who told you that?
But I want to bring in Pat first.
Who told you that?
And there's some guy out there who just showed up who swears he's living with Jesus Christ.
Who told you that?
And believes it.
Who told you that?
He didn't bring Jesus with him.
Yes, we can call Jesus.
Who told you that?
You can call Jesus Christ.
Who would like to do that?
There's Pat Cooper right there.
Anytime you want to come on the show, Pat Cooper off the street, walk off.
Right.
You brought me for a guy from Minnesota who said,
Sit down.
the microphone in the background.
What is he talking about?
He's crazy. We switched his day around that he had to come in because we wanted to...
You had this guy come from Minnesota.
No, that wasn't why we bumped you.
I can't hear your voice across the street, Howard. Give me a break. All these guys. What's happening to your show?
I don't know. What is happening?
I mean, you've got guests on here that don't make any sense.
Wait, the Insane Clown Posse?
You got to think, it's getting to a point that says, where's this guy digging? You're thinking, how come I can't hear you in here?
You don't hear the headphones?
Thank God.
There's a control there somewhere.
Hiya, baby.
How are you?
So can you hear...
I get taller.
Can you hear Robin in the headphones?
No.
You can't?
No.
That's
That's okay. What's the difference? Hey, if you can bump me, I'll come back next week.
No, I would like you to be able to hear, but I
There's
have...
a volume control there, and he has to find...
Yeah, there is a volume control.
Yeah, it's a volume control on your fuzzles.
I got to tell you something. It is so disappointing to me, the technical aspect of this show.
Is it even plugged in, I wonder?
I wonder, too. Here comes Gary to help, though. Help him out, Bubba Boo.
I got it.
All right, now you're okay?
Yeah.
You hear me?
My ears, yeah.
Right, all right.
There's nothing wrong with your show. It's just that some of the people you put on here are just boring.
Well, I thought
he was bumped because of the guy who thought he heard you talking.
He wasn't bumped for that reason. I switched him around for a reason that is beyond him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
you wouldn't understand.
Why do you bump a guy that's not supposed to be bumped?
What do you care what day? I put you on a better day.
I don't want a better day. I want to go when I was supposed to go, and I had things on my mind to tell, and I forgot what the hell I was supposed to tell you.
Now you have nothing to say.
I got plenty to say.
Right. So what does it upset you when I switch the day?
No,
You don't care. What do you care? So don't even come in here acting like
Let me
it.
tell you something.
I don't want you to go senile on me.
I could never go senile.
Right, you could. You're getting to the age. How old are you now?
I'll be 70 in July.
Really?
Yes.
You could be going senile soon, right?
No, sir.
No way.
Getting better.
Really?
Get better, pal.
I gotta tell you something about you.
Yeah.
You look young.
He does.
You don't look 70.
I will never look 70.
He is
No.
your father's
Never look 70. I won't give you
contemporary.
satisfaction.
My father's 75.
Yeah.
So he's a contemporary of your father, and
Yeah,
your
my-
father looks so much older.
He does he?
I had a guy turn around, time was 57, looked like about 80. But that's not my... It's just living the way you're supposed to live, and you don't crossbreed food. Never crossbreed food.
What do you mean by
In
that?
other words, an Italian has an Italian intestines.
Right.
Understand?
So
They don't
you
want no
meatballs-
tacos. They don't want none of that down there.
Right.
If I had a taco, my ass would lock.
So you only eat Italian food. Is that
I
what you're
eat
telling
Italian
us?
food, what I'm supposed to do. I sleep when I'm supposed to. My body says you're tired, go to sleep.
Right.
And that's it. You don't step out of your realm. You step out of your realm and you're big trouble.
What is going on in our world? Maybe you could help clear this up. What is going on? The world seems to be getting crazier and crazier. You take guys, I'll give you an example. You take guys like an entertainer like Steve Allen.
Yeah.
Who was an entertainer at some point. He used to make people laugh on TV. He was not a comic. He doesn't really have a stand-up comic like you having a tremendous ability to go on a stage and make people laugh.
Right.
He would go on TV and say a few funny things or something and be in a sketch or
But
something.
mostly he liked comedians.
Yeah.
You bring them
Well,
up.
it's the same with Bob Hope. They don't want to quit. They don't want to know it's over.
Right.
They shove it there. It's whatever they got down people's throat, and then they wonder why the children don't respect them, because they don't have respect for themselves. When it's over, quit, and that's the end of it.
But it's even like at least Bob Hope
Yeah.
had an act at some point.
Yeah.
Steve Allen now, his act seems to be criticizing, let's say, me and television. Right, isn't that kind of sad?
It's not sad. It's instead of contributing, he's trying to take away, and he's wrong.
Right.
He should mind his business. Life is different. Things change. Music change. Accept it.
But,
right.
But they don't want it. They can't handle it.
He's like,
Pat, how do you know when it's over? I mean, obviously...
I will know. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I did a show last night at Caesars. I work on a Mondays or Tuesday, okay, for Mel Weiss, a great lawyer, okay? I went on that stage. You got to add the kids around. If I couldn't handle that, I would quit tomorrow.
People laugh at you still.
I would quit.
Right.
Because I have a comedic mind to turn around off the top of my head and ad-lib.
Right.
I would quit.
Right.
Understand?
Right.
These guys who be 90, 94, 95, they still looking for a series.
Like I know, even though Henny Youngman's dead, at the time of his death, he was still going on stage in a wheelchair.
That's terrible.
You didn't like that?
I thought it was first, it was disrespectful to the audience.
Right.
How dare you come out? What is this, a hospital ward? Give me a break. What the hell are you doing?
What do you think of Richard Pryor? I mean,
Richard Pryor, listen, Richard Pryor is his own worst enemy. Richard Pryor's been trying to die for 30 years.
Right.
I went on the roast. The first thing I said to him on the roast is, when are you going to die, Richard? Let's get this thing over with. And they scream.
They love that.
Because he's got a great sense of humor. The Pryor's got a great sense of humor.
Right, right.
But these people don't understand. You got to rehearse laying down.
Right.
You got to rehearse.
Some people should go away, you say.
Not go away.
They have enough money. They could go. They could retire, play golf.
Once a month, I rehearse dying. I lay on the couch, I cross my hands, and I go...
No, you feel that you are still relevant. You have a career. You're making people...
I've been on 30 years for a job. What am I going to turn around? I'm still doing your show.
Right. People are booking you. You have a relevant career. A lot of these guys, really, it's past their prime.
Let me ask you another question. I got no PR people. I get more press than anybody.
Right.
I got my own TV show going on.
And what is that? What are you talking about?
Don't fool around, pal. I'm big. I'm big.
No, what is going on with this?
I'm doing a host of a game show called Classic Movie Tone News.
Right.
I gotta say classic because Marvin, the director, gets nervous and Jack gets...
You have your own television show.
Yeah, it starts Saturday.
And it's a game show.
Yeah.
And you're the host.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's wonderful nervous breakdown.
Right.
I got no audience. I get 2 guests in an hour, and I got to ad-lib for...
And do they pay you well for this?
What do you want to get paid for? Everything? They don't pay you well.
So you don't get paid?
Oh, absolutely you get paid.
You do?
But it's not like people say, gee, you must be making millions.
Right.
Here's the secret. When you got a show of your own like that, or anything, I got a thing called Mind Your Mind. It's a talk show. I mean, it's a cook show.
Right.
You don't raise your price and get...
Where are these shows? Why do I never see it?
Come on, give me a chance.
All right, okay, all right.
I'm doing a book called The Bodyguard's Bodyguard. How's that grab you?
And what is that about?
It's about a bodyguard. It was a bodyguard for the bodyguard. It's never been written like that. So
and you wrote it in a novel form?
A friend of mine, Tony Del Vecchio. It's going to be a great book.
Is it a spoof or?
No. It's a story about a guy who was bodyguarding the bodyguard.
So you're hotter than ever, is what you're saying.
He's acting.
Maybe explain something else to me, because you understand show business and you understand certain people's mentality. I always see you as a good reader of people.
Right.
Now, explain Jackie Martling to me.
I'm glad you're...
No. Let me ask you this question, because this happened during the week, and maybe you could straighten it out.
Okay.
Jackie always wanted to appear at a Friers roast.
Yes.
He wants to go and be a Friar and be on a roast, and they never let him do it.
Okay.
So Freddie Roman finally asked Jackie to be on a Friers roast. Mm-hmm. Who was the roast for, Jackie?
Freddie Roman.
For Freddie Roman. Yeah. He says, would you please do my roast? Jackie said yes. He agreed to go do it, and then he thought about it after a couple of weeks, and he called him back and said, I don't want to do it.
He's smart.
A few days before.
Jackie Martling was the smartest man on the planet. I told Jackie before I come on this air.
Good.
Because for me, Freddie Roman, if he's a good friend of Jack Martling, he would have put him in the regular roast, the big roast.
Right.
But this was like a rehearsal, like Freddie's going to do him a favor. He says, I'll allow you to do my roast.
Right.
What else Freddie Roman to ask you on? And first of all, it wasn't a great roast. And second of all, you don't bring the newspaper people in there and they bomb them out. You don't do that.
Right.
This is a disgrace, okay? And these people are going around and he thinks he's the dean, he's the big maven.
But how would Jackie ever get any roast?
I would, and if I was Jackie's guy to bring him into that organization, I'd have turned around and said to Kenny Greengrass, who runs the roast, Kenny, this man deserves to be on. He's got to be on. He's a funny man. We've had some guys that were terrible on that show.
Right.
I mean, terrible. But it's politics. It's a game they play.
Who you know?
And it's a
so
lot
you feel Jackie was right?
Jackie, I didn't go.
You wouldn't even go.
I didn't go.
But you're an A-list guy. They bring you into all the big roles.
I knew it was a scam from the beginning because the minute Freddie Roman turned around, it was Freddie Roman. He had a sign, sold out. I said, give me a chance. When you get a chance to get on the phone to make a reservation. But that's the ego these people deal with. And he is the dean, so they're going to turn around and sell out. So he sells out. What happened? You know something? It wasn't a great roast. Everybody that called me told me it wasn't a great roast.
Really?
Because you know why? There was envy and jealousy in there, and everybody's trying to become stars. Or where are you going to go? Hey, Freddie, it's over.
But don't you think Jackie, who hasn't had any roast experience...
Maybe he should have gone.
If he had gone...
No, not that one. Not that one. I would have never went to that one. I think Jackie Martling has a big enough move to go on the big one. What, you got a monkey in here? What is
No, that's Jackie's music. Yeah. He has monkey music.
Freddie, how are you?
And what about, you hate Alan King, right?
I don't hate him. No, let's get one of these straight. I don't hate Alan King.
Right.
I don't understand him.
You recently went off on Alan King in a New York Observer article.
Oh, yeah, did you read that? Was that a great article?
Yeah, I didn't read the article, but here's what I heard.
Read the article?
I didn't see the article.
My movie?
I don't read it. Yeah, I saw you. You were great.
Was I all right?
You were great.
I mean, I want to make sure, because God forbid you don't like me. I may wind up on slides.
I have you on because I think you're great. All right, let me ask you this.
Because I'm great?
Yeah.
I thought you loved me, Howard.
No, I think you're great. This has nothing to do with love.
It has to do with love.
Right. Now, you'd rather be on for being great than for me loving you.
Yeah.
Nobody loves you. They just think you're great. So you were opening up for Jim Croce. And
Isn't he dead? This isn't him recently.
Oh, this is a different story I want to ask you about.
Jim Croce.
Jim Croce was a singer.
He died.
And Croce would never speak to you, and you still hold a grudge. Is that true?
I don't know who Jim Croce is.
Time in a bottle? If I could put time in a bottle.
I don't know the man.
You don't know about that.
Howard,
you swear you don't know.
Howard, listen to me.
These are things I read.
Never opened for him?
I don't lie.
Why don't you like Alan King?
Well, I think Alan King at one time was one of the greatest stand-up comics.
I agree.
And I might tell you something, I thought he was a great monologist. But Alan King, to me, has not contributed what he should. I think he's a little bitter. I think he's angry at the young people around today. And I think he's the maven of time. I think he walks around with a cigar.
Like Steve Allen. He knows everything.
Well, no, I think he's a little bit better than Steve Allen.
Right.
I don't hate the man. It just bothers me to say, hey, Alan, with all the great things in here, Ed Sullivan's dead. You're not going to go on no more. Everything is a new world out there. Give to these younger people and say, hey, I'm the head guy of the Friers. I don't think he contributes anything to the Friers. I don't see it.
Doesn't he do that comedy festival?
What?
You're very consumed with the Friers. You're consumed.
No, I'm not.
Alan King is. What is Alan King? The head of the Friers?
He's the abbot.
He's the abbot.
Yeah. Now let me tell you.
And what does he do? Is he? And what does he specifically do to these young comedians?
He walks around with a cigar and he talks to people. He takes a drink and he waves. What the hell do I know?
Right. He feels he's like a king.
When Frank Sinatra was the abbot, I think Frank Sinatra went to the Friers once in his life.
Right.
But they made him the abbot.
Right.
Frank Sinatra did more dead than Alan King did alive.
Right.
You understand me?
Right.
That's what I'm telling you. He doesn't. To me, he doesn't have no charm to bring the Friers up and to put them on a pedestal where they belong. The Friers right now is getting to be an old gas pain.
Right.
And we need new blood, and Alan King should put that into the.
You're saying that Frank Sinatra embraced young people, tried to help their careers,
I didn't say that.
And Alan King
did. I mean, Frank Sinatra did nothing for the Friers, but he did more dead than Alan King is doing alive.
Now, Alan King should be bringing in new people, giving young people a chance.
Represent a great organization. There should be some charm. There should be some life out there. There should be some snap in his walk.
Right.
Even Freddie, they walk around like what? This become a political machine here that is so stupid. Here's these guys that don't get paid. They kill each other to get the votes.
Right.
I thought they were running for presidency.
Right. They want to be the head of the Friers.
And if it comes, that's who's going to be on the roast and who's going to do this and we're going to do a dance for you and we're going to do it for that. It's clicky.
Right.
They all get together. They all got clicks. And
if I was head of the Friers,
I didn't finish.
Go ahead.
And here's what hurts me.
Right.
Here's what hurts me.
Go ahead.
They turn around. We got people in who belong in the Friers. We're not in show business. They become our reviewers.
Right.
They tell us how we're good or bad.
Right.
Now, you get a doctor. I don't go in his operating room and say you didn't take out the appendix, right?
Right.
But they become mavens.
Right.
And Alan King should turn around and say, stop it. This is a show business organization first. You guys are second and third. Otherwise, what are you playing here?
It should be the one place. It should be the one place that where a performer can go and not be judged much.
Thank you.
They should have a camaraderie.
But Freddie Roman, when he had the roast, they had the Times come in there, and they were going to the comedy. They're going to make a big thing out of it. And you know something? It's wrong.
Right.
It's wrong. Why is Freddie Roman better than anybody in that place? Why don't they roast Mickey Freeman? And why don't they roast out of Pisupi Sales and people who are in the trenches here?
Right.
Why is Freddie Roman better than anybody? I'm not better than anybody, and maybe I have a bigger name than Freddie. Freddie turned around and offered me 3 days for piss money.
Right.
Now you see, you insult me. I got my own TV show. I got ads in the paper. I got stories. What do you want? He wants to split the money with me.
Right.
Who are you to split the money with me? Who knows you?
You should tell him.
Who knows you?
Right.
Outside of Delancey Street, you got a problem.
It's true. You have a name.
Right. You can't tell that to Freddie.
Right.
Freddie thinks he walks around like he's Freddie Roman, and I don't hate him.
So a lot of these guys, these old dinosaurs at the Friers Club, walk around like they're big shots. I hear what you're saying. They walk around like they're big shots. They smoke cigars, everything. But there's more to just the Friers than walking around in a club.
Big shots to each other.
Right. In other words, you could get involved or elevate the Friers.
Everybody wants credit. Say, oh, I did that show last time. I did that show 2 weeks ago. That's who cares? You got to do the show for the club. Here's what kissed me off. You want to go what kissed me off?
Yeah.
I did CNN. Wait a minute.
That's all right.
I did CNN Friday.
Yeah.
CNN. How big can I get? They wanted me to talk about the Friers. So what happens?
Why do they want to talk about
it? Because I know how to talk.
Okay.
That's number one.
Right.
9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning, I go there. There's CNN there.
I mean, it must have been a slow news day that they wanted, but it must be a slow news day. They want to talk about the Friers.
No, wait a minute.
Or
This
Pat's up
is
to
a
something we
series
don't
they're
know.
going to put on.
Right, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
This is the Friers. Not even a cup of coffee they put for these people. Not even a cup of coffee, you miserable cheap bastards. Not even a cup of coffee. You got CNN coming in there, put a donut, a cup of coffee. For crying out loud, you come to my house, at least I give you coffee on the table. I put something. Nothing. It was like a cold. Where was Alan King? But you know where Alan King was when they asked him to do CNN? Alan King went with a cigar in his glass in his hand, and he talked. You know what they talked about?
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
If they play this 40 minutes that I did, the whole world's going to know the Friers.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. I gotta get that. I only want 10 minutes.
Right.
I did 40. Now that the guys were crying from hysteria because you know what? They said you're the only one that told the truth. Well, we can see what you're saying.
Right.
I wish I could have that 40 minutes.
Miserable bastards, no coffee at the Friers.
I would love to see that tape.
That 40 minutes will never see
It is going to come out.
It's going to come out.
Do you feel they'll run the whole thing?
I think they're going to bump Alan King and put my time into his time.
And you're saying that it's a big deal when the Friers can get on CNN.
And they don't put coffee on the table.
But forget about that.
I came here, you offered me coffee.
Then when Alan King gets on TV, he doesn't say anything that is relevant or interesting.
Alan King is for Alan King.
Right.
Alan King doesn't understand that it's over. Alan King is now the maven of the Friers. Get up and say, listen to me, I've had my great moments. Ed Sullivan's dead, Alan. He keeps hearing, here he is, Alan. It's over. It's over.
Right.
You don't understand that.
Right.
Do a tap dance, do a shuffle.
Right.
Hug your grandchildren and put some effort into the Friers that you're special.
Put yourself second to the Friers.
Now, make the Friers special.
Number one. Right.
When Buddy Howe, God love his soul, used to run that place, there was magic in that place.
Right.
You know what there's now? Just a wand, but there's no magic.
Right.
You like that?
No, I hear what you're saying. I think you're right.
I don't know what the Friers is.
I don't even know what it is either.
You don't have to know. It's not that important.
It really doesn't make it. And what happened recently? This is unbelievable. The cops came to your house and took away your guns?
No. Not
Wait
guns.
a minute.
Not guns.
All right. What happened?
Not guns.
I can understand why they didn't.
Wait, no. Hold on a minute.
What are you waiting? What is it, Armageddon?
What, is the world ending?
I'm glad, by the way.
Are you afraid of Y2K?
Who would give you a gun?
First of all,
Yeah.
not Freddie Roman. Howard, I swear to you.
What are you doing with
I
firearms?
wanted it.
You never wanted a gun.
I
So
swear
who gave you a gun?
Tell us the whole story of your gun.
tell you in a couple of seconds.
All right, go ahead.
I did more benefits for the police.
Of course.
And the police. And they said to me, you're a son of you should be carrying something. I said, I'm going to carry. I carry my bond. Who wants to hit me?
You had a permit to carry a gun?
Wait a minute. I went down, I filled out 9 forms. This form, your form, this picture, this way, that picture. I don't know. Let me tell you, when I went in the Army, they didn't give me a gun. They gave me a spoon.
Right.
I swear to God.
So you, because you know so many cops,
Yeah.
they decided, listen, why don't you have a gun permit where you could carry a concealed
Wait a
weapon?
minute. So I went through no favors. I went through the motions, and all of a sudden, they turned around and said, you got a pistol. No, so when am I going to get a pistol?
Right.
So a friend of mine says, Pat, I'll give you my pistol, and they signed it over legally. Everything was legal schmeaking out.
Right.
I didn't put bullets in the gun. I dismantled it. I put it in my stocking.
Right. Why did you bother getting it, though? You must have had it. You must have had a reason.
They want, sometimes they give you a badge. They give you a badge. They said, try and get it. So I said,
But why do you want it?
I don't even know because I'm stupid.
All right.
I told you, I never fired a gun in my life. Firecrackers annoy me.
Right.
All right, so now, they call me, they say it's time for you to renew your permit.
Right.
So they send me more paperwork.
Right.
What do? I give them my electric bill that you have to give electric bill. By mistake, I gave them the electric bill. Now, the electric bill has a new address in the same building, but the address is wrong. Now, this officer calls me up. She goes, you're giving us fraudulent address. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm paying gas electric in there. I don't like your attitude. You don't like my attitude? She said, no. She said, you're giving me a wrong address. What are you trying to... I say, do me a favor, lady. Don't disrespect. I don't give a damn who you are. I'm Sergeant so-and-so. Screw you and your badge. How's that grab you? And screw you and your gun. How's that grab you?
Right.
3 days later...
They knock on the door.
Where's my gun? When I shot him the gun, you know what the guy said? If you try to shoot it, you would have blew off your hand.
So they came and confiscated your gun based on this
Why did they
conversation.
confiscate the gun if
They
you
have
wasn't
to.
carrying it?
Because here's what happened.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
Tell me what happened.
Very obvious.
I understand.
Okay.
Obviously, there was a discrepancy in the address. When you have a gun registered in your name, your address has to match your gas and electric bill.
And the telephone bill.
And your telephone.
I made a mistake. I put the gas in. What do I know? It's in 115 when I'm in numbers in 7. How the hell do I know?
So you made a mistake on the form.
The box in the same building, but a different address, but the same building.
And evidently, the woman had a communication problem with Pat.
No, she didn't.
Right.
Should have heard her. She's, I don't like your attitude. I don't like yes. First of all, I said, you know what you do with your badge? Mint and ghoul. Let me shove up your rear end.
Really?
I said, don't threaten me. You're saying you're threatening me, and you're a racist. I didn't know she was black or green.
Right.
What? I said, you're a racist. Right. So I'm going to come and get you. You're not going to get the gun. I said, shove the gun up your rear end. You know what I tell you? Bang back, lady, bang back. So she turned around. 3 days later.
You must have really made her mad if the cops showed up to confiscate your gun.
He's not carrying it.
The cops were hilarious.
Right.
I said, Mr. Cooper, you got to pick up your gun. I said, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Here's a toothpick. Pick that. That's a weapon.
Right.
That's a weapon, yeah. You get a toothpick, you put it in somebody's gun underneath the chin, you kill someone.
Right.
A weapon.
I want to tape of that conversation.
How does he know that?
How does he get through life?
How does he know that a toothpick under here will kill you?
Because he's done it.
No, I talked to guys in jail, and they tell you when you get a toothpick, you want to hurt your guy, you stick that. It's called a lumbar infection.
Ralph, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Ralph the Puerto Rican, man.
How are you, buddy?
Go ahead.
The greatest comic ever.
You feel
my
the
brother's name is Pasquale.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to tell Pat? I said, what do you want to tell Pat?
Listen. Is it true Don Rickles stole your act?
What about that? A lot of people saying now that Don Rickles stole your act.
Don Rickles, now. Don first was brilliant. I love Don Rickles.
You like him. I like him, too.
Don Rickles one of the best. I think these youngsters around. Chris Rock is dynamite. Norm Macdonald. I mean,
he's funny.
I like the guy in Home Box. Let's see, the guy like Dennis Miller.
He's funny.
They're all, but you know, a lot of these young, older comics are afraid to say they're great. They're great.
They are great.
Give them a break, and our days are over. I'm hearing the whistle. It's finished.
Right.
Everybody's going. Everybody's going to millennium. It's over.
Right.
It's 2000.
You've recreated yourself.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Right, it just happened.
A push cart and sell fish for Christ.
Right.
What did Don Rickles do? Did he not say the young comics are great?
No, I didn't say that. Don Rickles, when Don was the best, Don was the best.
He was.
But Don respects younger comics today, and I love Don for that.
Yeah.
And Don, to me, is still one of the funniest off the cuff. I
agree.
And you can tell him he's a giant. In my eyes, he'll always be a giant.
So he didn't steal anything from you?
Well, no. Don Rickles can't also have to steal from me. What does he need me for?
Right. All right, well, this was this guy on the phone. Tom, what is it?
Hi, Howard.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Pat has the audacity to come in after he sits there on a board. And
what board? I don't belong on a board.
No, you were on a board.
I was never on a
Howard
board.
Off the air.
The board of what?
What board?
I don't know. Aren't you retarded?
Yes, I am retarded, but don't put me on a board.
What board are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
He's on the retarded board.
This is ridiculous.
Boom.
Yeah.
What? Where do you find these people?
They find
Years
out.
ago you had quality. Now it's getting down to nothing here.
I don't even know what the guy's talking
Well,
about.
then trust you. It'll deny them.
Ray, go ahead.
Yeah. This question for Pat.
Yeah.
Yes?
Well, let's look at about 1986, Pat. 85. You left the Narragansett Inn. I paid for a whole table.
You're right, I did.
What is this about, Pat?
Wait a minute. The man told the
So
truth.
theoretically, you owe me close to $2,800.
Okay, what's your address?
Get me off the phone and you can send it. I'll even pick it
What
up.
is he talking about, Pat? I don't even understand this.
Excuse me a minute. Always remember one thing. There's a reason when I do something.
Yeah.
At that particular place, they were starting to come in with cameras.
What place? What are we talking about?
Who remembers?
The Narragansett Inn. Where is it? On Long Island. You stayed there?
No. I was going to do a show there.
Go ahead.
They came in with cameras, and they wanted to film my act. I said, you don't film my act for $3.
Right.
I could go on Home Box for thousands.
Right.
They says, well, then that's the story. That's the story. Goodbye. And I went home.
Oh, that's enough. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. Why, sir? He doesn't owe you anything.
Oh, give me a break.
This is his life's work. If he
They
puts
don't
it...
understand. See, we have no lives. We can be abused and we can be filmed anytime you want to. They can take pictures of your children, but don't do it to them. You do it to them, they cry poverty.
Right.
So this gentleman over here didn't understand the truth, and I'm not angry. It was $2,800. Hey,
Do you feel better now, sir, that you know the explanation?
Absolutely. Pat, thank you very much.
I love you, buddy.
All right, he set you straight. That's all.
That's the truth. Howard, I don't walk out of nowhere. I told you last night.
Hey, let me ask you something. What do you think of this guy, Mark Harris? He's in the green room.
Can I tell you something? I like this guy.
You like him.
Can I tell
But he's delusional. I got to tell you why he's delusional.
a lot of
Why do you
fun.
think he's delusional?
I'll tell you why he's delusional. Can I tell you something? I'll tell you a story.
Why I like him.
Right.
He's fun. I like to be with him.
Would you like to meet him?
I met him. He was in a dream. We talked on the phone a couple of times.
Really?
What do you mean you
and
talked on
Dr.
the
Ray.
What do you mean you talked on the phone?
Oh, no. Does that bother you?
Yeah, no. What do you mean you talked on the phone?
Call me. We're going to try. He wanted to do some couple of things. Want to meet me in New York. He's a fine gentleman. He invites me to parties. parties if I want to go.
Do you ever go?
No, I'm not a party. I'm like you. I don't go nowhere.
Do you think he's in love with you? You know, he's a bisexual.
That's something. I don't care his sexual gender.
Of course
I
not.
like him. I
You do.
really like him. You know why? He's got a certain quality that he's a likable guy.
Right.
Don't cross him.
Really?
Why is that? What would he do?
Because he's got
Who
that
does
thing
he
hanging
know?
up the side of the...
What do you think of the fact that he married an old woman?
He didn't marry no... Oh, we married someone that he probably loved, he cared about. I said, who cares who he married? I marry a goddamn alligator. Well, who cares?
Right. Would you... Well, let me understand. Here's the problem.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Mark wants to be...
Understand.
Yeah, Mark wants to be in show business, all right? Pat, listen to me.
Pat's looking at his watch. What are we?
Are we holding you up? You have somewhere to go?
You know why?
Why?
I learned from the last couple of times. Before you turn around and say, Pat, it's been a pleasure, I'll get out the door.
No, I'm not asking you to leave.
Because I know you. You're not going to deep nine me tonight.
By the way, let me give you a plug before I forget so you don't get mad. You'll be on the Fox News channel on Saturday at 4
Classic
p.m.
movie tone news. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's one of the nicest things that happened. Bob, and I said classic.
It's this Saturday?
This Saturday, yeah, every week.
And you have Manja...
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Right.
Okay?
And you're in the process of writing a book, and you also have Manja.
Bodyguard's Bodyguard, which is going to be one of the best Italian books ever made because it's a true story about a guy who is really... the so-called tough guys.
Okay, good.
I'll give you one fast story. Jilly Rizzo was Frank Sinatra's bodyguard.
Right.
This guy was Jilly.
Were you at Frank's funeral?
I don't go to funerals.
Were you invited?
I don't go to nobody's funeral.
Were you invited?
No, I wasn't invited. I wouldn't go.
Why were you not invited?
I don't have to go. I don't go to funerals.
He didn't like Frank Sinatra.
No, I did, but I didn't. I don't go to funerals.
You didn't like Frank Sinatra?
I don't go to my mother and father's funeral.
Listen, why do you say he doesn't like Frank Sinatra?
I remember him saying something about,
No. You misinterpreted. What I said was the truth.
What?
Well, my situation with him, they said, I told him. I didn't.
Yeah, go ahead. That's all right. Yeah. Okay. What happened with you and Frank?
Nothing. We just turned around. When you work with a man like Frank Sinatra, you have to be his comic.
Right.
I ain't nobody's comic. He didn't pay me. Why should I be his comic?
Right.
He ain't my singer.
Right.
So he told me one night, he says, take out a story in your act. I said, do I tell you what songs to sing?
Right.
That was the end of my career with him.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And another time.
What story did he want taken out?
It was something about the saints upside down I used to do in the act. Okay,
Right.
now.
Right.
Then I meet him.
Because it was religious.
Yeah, no, it wasn't religious. It was funny. Give me a fake. But they wanted to test me, see if I could crumble. I don't crumble.
Right.
Frank likes to turn around and put 3 puffs in your pocket and squash them.
Right.
He likes to turn around and put firecrackers in your shoes. You can't do that.
He wants to see if he can control you.
Nobody controls me. I don't control me.
You didn't even buckle to the Frank Sinatra.
Buckle with who?
Were you afraid? Because it was always rumored he had mafia connections. Were you afraid that he would have you? Were you afraid he would rub you out?
Nobody rubs me out.
No one. No one.
Rub me out, right?
That's right. You have a gun. Oh, you did.
I tell you what,
You're right.
I'm doing a benefit. Frank Sinatra says, I'm going to do 4 songs. I said, okay. He said, when I finish the 4th song, you come out. He says, and introduce Peggy Lee. I said, fine. He comes off. As he's coming off in the 4th song, I run out. I told you 3 songs. You're never going to work with me no more. Well, he laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed because he had a great sense of humor. Right. 2 years later, I meet him on the street. He goes, Pat, can I do the 4th song?
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Meanwhile, if he had a great sense of humor, he wouldn't have asked you to cut out the joke.
Oh, what about...
You never worked with him again.
What about... I don't care. Nobody controls me.
Great sense of humor. Right, no one controls you, right?
That's right.
Right, I understand that. Gary, you're on the air.
Okay, hi, Howard. My name is Gary Scritt. I just wanted to know, I was a limousine driver in Atlantic City, and I drove Mr. Cooper's wife and daughter home from Caesars back in, I believe it was 84, 85. Make the story short, I get to Manhattan, I drive down where he lives, I get out of the limousine to get the bag, and a guy comes out of nowhere and pushes me out of the way and reaches into the trunk, and he starts grabbing the bags, and it was Pat Cooper.
Right.
Now, he doesn't let me carry any of the bags. He walks with me and his wife and daughter to the elevator. He turns around, he says, thank you very much for bringing my wife and daughter to me safely, and he hands me a $50 bill as a tip.
Oh.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned, there's nobody like that guy. I mean, everybody's got a lot of things to say about him, but as a real human being, the guy is right down to earth.
Oh, you're a generous man, Pat.
Last night, the guy took us into Caesars.
Would you pay
$100?
You gave him $100.
Absolutely.
You're a generous man.
And I gave the other guy going $60. What the hell's wrong? I gave him $160.
Right.
Because you know why? You're making a great living.
I was so afraid that was going to be a horror story. It didn't sound like it was going to go. And then Pat would have taken me and choked me and beaten me.
No, wouldn't it?
I mean,
hey, if it's the truth, Howard, I can handle it.
No, you know when there's bad stories, you get crazy.
I hear it.
You get nuts. You start screaming, I'm setting you up.
No, you can never.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
What are you talking about? What, your memory going?
Pat's going senile, I think. Nobody knew it. Everyone's so shocked when something nice happens. So, Pat,
yes, sir.
Help me out with this Mark Harris for a minute, because he did come in, and as long as you're here, I think it would be interesting.
Am I on or off?
You're off now. We've had it with you. Go spend your $50. So this guy you know, he really isn't in show business, but he wants to be in show business. All right, you meet a lot of people like this who feel they should be in show business, but they never really have anything.
And you're a big guy on talent.
Right.
You think talented people should be in this business?
Well, I don't judge him. I've never seen him do anything. I mean, I just like him as a person.
I want you to help me with this guy. All right? Here's Mark Harris. Come in. Pat will help me.
What is he wearing today?
While I was yawning, I heard breaking news.
Don't sit too close to Pat.
Over sail, we will kick your effing tail.
Here is Mark singing.
Your army of thugs. Just until we go to jail, we get your fight.
It's a funny song he says. They hit a who.
Your army with guns.
All right, so he wants to be a singer.
Right, what's the matter? He can be anything he wants. He can be a juggler.
All right, here's my problem.
Is he going to open for you?
Mark has an idea.
I've had some people open for me, can't do nothing. At least the guy walks out there, he's got something to say. He's got a good sense of humor.
Right. Mark has...
I'm used to listening to you, Mark. I think you know me.
Mark, first of all, Mark, I don't even know how you got Pat Cooper's phone number. I don't know how you call him.
I gave it him.
You did?
Yeah, last time I gave him.
We don't have his phone number.
I don't even have his phone number.
Do I have your phone number?
No, you don't. I wouldn't give it to you.
I wouldn't ask you for it.
Right. What do I want to bother you with my number for?
You may turn around one day and want your life picked up.
So...
Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
You look marvelous.
Mark, Mark.
Yep.
Mark's a nice guy. I like Mark, too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm always trying to bring him down to earth. Mark has this idea. He wants a TV show.
Well, Matt's got a cooking show. Mark has been selling a cooking show for how long?
Yeah. No, I gave that up.
You gave that up.
Mark always has a TV show. Let me explain this. So he comes to me, he says, I got a show, you know, they'll go on after your show or before your show on Saturday nights. And I said, yeah, what's the show? He wants to be like Ted Mack's Amateur. People will come on and perform, and then he will critique them.
Like the Gong Show.
Yeah. So I said, go out and shoot a pilot or something. Comes back, I would play it for you. I can't even play for you. The audio is so bad, you can't even understand what anyone's saying. Now,
so he really did go shoot.
So I did Mark a favor. I gave it to Vinny Favali, who's in charge of late night programming at CBS. I said, why not? Mark's a friend of the show. I'll help him out. So Mark calls him every day. Vinny doesn't know what to say to him. Because with Vinny doesn't know what to say to Mark. Because really,
a nice guy.
No one's looking for the Ted Mack Amateur Hour. It already was on the air, and really, the Gong Show was on the air.
And then there was Star Search.
Star Search was on the air. It really is not an original idea.
No, just an updated, personality-driven show. Right. And there's a lot of singers and wannabes out there.
So Vinny said to me, what am I going to do with this guy? He calls me every day.
Actually, it was Vinny who started the thing by saying he wanted a lead-out show.
Well, he does want a lead-out show, but this is not it.
This little you decided that...
I haven't decided. Vinny decided.
Oh, Vinny didn't say that.
Are people looking for another amateur hour, Pat? Be honest with them, please.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
We're going to have 150 channels. You're going to have to fill those space up.
You mean there's enough room for Mark?
There's always enough room.
You're saying there's 150...
Hey, Rosie O'Donnell could get good ratings. I could get ratings.
You just hit a nerve.
I think you're better than Rosie O'Donnell. I'll give you that. I certainly do.
You're more real.
Here's Vinny. Vinny, tell Mark already.
Big fan, Mark. I'm a big fan.
Oh, I know.
Vinny's in charge. Pat, you know Vinny.
Vinny, how are you?
Hey, Pat, how are you? We had fun the last time we were together.
What?
Cindy Adams party.
Oh, wasn't that great?
That was terrific.
Were you at that Cindy Adams party?
Yeah, that's it. I went to Cindy's party, and hello, goodbye, and I left.
I'll tell you something.
I do.
I'll tell you something, Mark. You bring up Rosie O'Donnell. You're more feminine than Rosie O'Donnell.
I should hope. I'm a lot prettier. Did you see the size of her?
You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
You are, absolutely.
She's anti-fur. She wears leather.
Right.
She eats a lot of beef. Did you see those hips?
She's anti-gun. She supports Kmart.
Yeah.
She's anti-gun.
Right.
She's anti-pasta.
But she doesn't know what she's talking about.
So, Vinny, lay it to Mark once and for all so he understands.
Well, Howard, just so that we're clear, did you see the tape that I sent?
Yeah, I saw the tape.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very hard to figure out what's going on in that tape.
That's fine.
Well, I think if you spike it up with your,
is what he's saying.
Right.
You got to produce.
He needs a producer.
Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, what I really, what I talked about with Howard about the tape is the thing that you didn't do was you didn't adapt yourself to Howard's audience. I know you think that Howard's audience would tolerate this kind of show
mixed in with your
what kind of show is it?
Tolerate.
What kind of show is it, Howard?
It's an amateur. It's
what is he doing? I mean,
he has various people on, and then like he has a singer on. He starts teaching the singer how to sing.
Oh, no.
They were laughing at it. It might be funny.
Yeah,
it's a lot funnier the way I'm telling you. Believe me. Pat, why didn't you put him under your production company? What?
I don't have I have a production company. Yeah, Gary, you're not a we're here.
Mark, I want to say, I think you're a great guy, but if you're trying to talk to an audience in today's day and age, it's 1999. We're talking about the millennium.
Right.
Why would you tell a 5-year-old girl she could be the next Ethel Merman?
Anybody knows? The whole world knows who Ethel Merman is. Maybe, seriously, you realize Ethel Merman is not a big name anymore.
No, it's over.
No. It's over for Ethel Merman.
Hey, talk about curtain.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. On your show, would you do the things that Howard does to keep that audience? Would you shave a woman's, private parts? Would you throw the woman?
Do anything.
Woman?
Definitely not.
He'd get a woman's private part.
I said no.
He would cut his penis off for a TV show.
No, what I did do, I thought by connecting the radio, you could get all, the talent that you could recruit and go to Atlantic City Hotel, who I'm speaking to, and
Mark's got a lot of connections, Howard. He does.
And speaking
I even spoke to Mike Wallace about this.
Mike Wallace? For 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes.
What did you say to him?
I said, I'm working on the possibility
Mark doesn't know anyone under 80.
Ted Mack, and he thought it was a wonderful idea.
Where did you see Mike Wallace?
I said, well, I'm only talking to Howard Stern about it.
And what did he throw up?
Mark was mugging
Where did he
very,
see Mike Wallace?
very nice man.
Can you keep my name out of those conversations?
Where did you see Mike Wallace?
I was at a party for David Walter.
Oh, not a party.
Oh, please. Pat, would you set him straight? Obviously. He's a little delusional, right?
No, I was.
Sexual. How can you set him straight?
You're fast.
I guess Pat likes going to these parties because he doesn't want to insult
I don't
Mark.
go to parties.
I have a hello for everybody here except Martling. I swear to God, I was at this.
Let me ask you something, Pat. This guy.
Hey.
You were about to get married, weren't you? Again.
Yeah, I slept with Gilda's last night.
You did?
Yes.
You slept with her.
The therapist came over and she did a little.
How old is Gilda? Tell Pat.
March will be 80.
What's wrong with that?
Come on.
But wait,
What do you think of a guy who keeps going out with 80, 90-year-old women?
Lovely gal.
And who are wealthy?
It's okay.
Come on, Pat.
I'll sacrifice.
What happened to you?
I just
Yeah, you know there's something wrong with a guy marrying an 80-year-old.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this guy.
Mark is shooting Jackie with a water gun.
I think Rosie O'Donnell would approve of the Heston.
So what do you, all right, I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
No, you're not, and you're not even blonde. What? What's bothering you?
No, I mean, you're this 80-year-old woman. I mean, didn't she dump you?
Dump?
Yeah.
Nobody dumps me.
There you go.
Mark.
My kind of guy.
Yeah,
Mark,
Vinny. Yeah.
tell Howard about your new idea based on the Will and Grace sitcom where Martha Grace goes.
Yeah, I was.
This is a good idea, Howard.
Vinny, does Mark call you every day with new programming ideas?
Mark calls me 10 times a
You gotta
day.
say something. I hooked Mark up with Vinny as a joke.
You gave him
You didn't do it.
I said, Vinny, I gave Mark Harris your phone number.
Quite frankly, I was there, Mark. Howard was just trying to get you off his back.
Right, so I said,
that's a good position.
So now Mark actually has.
Mark's like my girlfriend.
Mark actually has the phone number of a real television
Yeah,
executive.
guy who runs shows.
And so Mark is going nuts. He's thinking, what can I pitch? So what did he pitch you now?
Okay, Mark was at the rap party for Will and Grace, the sitcom on NBC.
How do you get into a party like that? Even Pat Cooper
I was at a great party last night, and Freddie Roman says hello to you and everybody except Jackie
Mark,
Martling.
stay to the topic. Talk about Will and Grace.
Okay, Will and Grace. I was at the shooting of the
Freddie Roman was there?
Yeah.
Really?
No, not at the Will and Grace.
No, not at Will and Grace.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, you're jumping.
Party,
Mark,
like
stay on track, Mark.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay.
So what is the idea?
I registered a treatment and
Registered.
He read the whole thing to me yesterday, acted out all the parts over the phone.
And is it not good or what?
It was actually.
I would like to hear the pitch.
It's based on my life.
What is the pitch? Maybe Pat Cooper will be in it.
You know what? There's something here, Pat. You should hear this.
Okay. It's called Oh Daddy. I really do have many children, and at 50 years old in this Bel Air mansion that I built, it's a Sunday, and I'm sitting home as all these girls, unmarried, come home, one with a black baby, one with a Mexican baby, the other one pregnant, who's going to have a Japanese baby, and my 12-year-old in real life is the stepsister to these children. And with my butler answering the door, I go upstairs to speak to my late wife, who I could see and hear, which is Martha Ray, in the same period of Cosmo Topper.
Right. So, like Topper,
right,
you are married to Martha Ray.
And I'm the only one that could see or hear her.
And dead Martha Ray comes back.
She's talking to you about all these problems.
I got to admit, that is some story.
Hey, Mark, how old is Martha when she comes back? Is she old, Martha, or young?
Visually, I would say in her 60s.
In her 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Come back as a virgin.
Pat, would you like to be in this show?
No.
No.
It's not for me.
Right.
It's not for me.
Right.
I turn down things that don't belong to me. I don't want to be a part of it. Not that I dislike this man's power. It's not for me. He's got people out there that belong in that situation.
I had a thought for Mark. Seriously, what about gay Texas Ranger?
That's a good one.
Like the Chuck Norris show.
I want to be in that one.
Yeah, except Mark.
I want to play the Tonto.
Yeah, he'll be Tonto.
Yeah, and plenty of leather.
Wait a minute, Mark just scares all the criminals. He
Right.
goes up and they run.
So what about that, Vinny? He calls you every day with different ideas.
He calls me. He's got a lot of energy. I mean, he really does.
All right, so be honest. Do any of his ideas seem to be of interest to CBS television?
Well, the late night show would never work because he's got to speak to your audience.
Right.
You know.
All right, that's legitimate.
As far as
He says he's entertainment for the millennium.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Which millennium?
You'll never figure that out.
Pat, go ahead, Vinny.
He's trying. He is trying.
My live act is very good. People Magazine comes out on the stands, 2 pages of story on me, and then
People Magazine?
No.
Where?
No.
What do you mean no?
It's impossible.
No, they are, Howard. They're looking back at 25 years and they're doing a retro on his marriage to Martha Ray.
I see.
No,
it's not about your
they're
live
not
act.
doing about
No,
the
wait a minute,
marriage
let's
to
get
Martha.
this
You're
straight
wrong.
now. Yeah. Say Mark's
It
break.
comes out on the stand June 4th.
And what is it about, Mark?
It's about me and my life. And
Oh, it is?
Wow.
my act. I'm.
Jeez, I didn't say repeat it for my life.
Right.
I have
Where
a
is
live
this
act
act
called
being performed?
Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh, my.
Synagogue.
In Atlantic City.
Going back, I think they mentioned that June 7th.
Pat, have you ever seen his act?
No,
You got to check that.
I'll
Let him
send you
do
the
some of
tape.
it.
Send him a tape.
Yeah.
Because he's very busy. All right, listen.
Yes.
This is exciting.
We're going to leave.
What is he up to now,
Oh,
Mark?
there you go.
Me? Well, my therapist
20 minutes
is here.
ago.
She did Jill
I did my
yesterday.
number.
And
Wait, Mark is talking. What is it, Mark?
My therapist is outside.
She's gorgeous. She's
she
gorgeous.
Is.
You want to bring her in?
And
She's gorgeous.
And I have a
And you got a good
clairvoyant.
body. You got a good bodyguard.
Oh, and my bodyguard is
Bodyguard.
there.
And
You know, the lower you are on the totem pole, the more you entourage you have.
The entourage.
Pat Cooper comes, you don't have anybody with
You
him.
got a
My bodyguard, seriously.
Who is with you? A bodyguard? Why do you need a bodyguard?
That's what I asked him.
Really? Seriously? Why do you need
my clothing? Look how I'm dressed. I mean, people are anti-American. I'm very patriotic.
No, really, what is this with the bodyguard? Seriously.
The therapist.
And why is your therapist with you?
She's gorgeous.
Well, she did analyze Gilda yesterday, not financially.
Right.
And then she analyzed me and the situation, and it was okay.
Are you still thinking of marrying this 80-year-old woman?
No.
It's
no
off.
marriage. No marriage. No.
You're just
It's
dating.
going to be together. Can
Does
I
she
ask?
give you money?
No.
Be honest. Has she ever given you money?
Just honest. Has she ever given me money?
Right.
No, she's picked up a check.
Of what? Of a car?
A restaurant.
That's
Oh,
it.
no cars.
All right.
Howard, therapists and
But I just
travel
got,
and
I
acts.
inherited a lot of land.
From who?
Really? I don't know how you do it.
He inherits everything.
Why hasn't he run out of money yet, Howard?
The conservatorship never found this land that Martha owned in
Oh, it's
Freeport
Martha's
in the
land.
Bahamas. No, it's now
okay.
mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
The poor daughter.
What poor daughter?
The poor daughter who never
Like
gets...
in no money pool?
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Tell Howard about biography.
Oh, I just finished the A&E biography of Martha Ray.
You did.
And a matter of fact, you're talking about
Are
my
you all
sitcom.
over it?
Of course.
Of course.
It's the husband.
And close-up shots. What's wrong with you? And Norman Lear, I called him, and I also gave him the sitcom that I wrote.
This guy knows everybody. I know Joe DiNapoli. That's where my mom...
I don't know anybody either. Let me take a few phone calls. All right. Mickey, go ahead. Mickey,
I
go.
just wanted to say that if Mark Harris gets his own TV show, I'm throwing out my TVs and sewing my sprinkler up.
Oh, you really should.
You will throw out all of your television
I
sets.
really think I got a few of them, too.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so this is wild, Pat. As you can see, Mark is someone who's trying to establish himself in the industry.
Entitled. We're all entitled to do something. I mean,
Right.
give him a
If
break.
everybody else could do vulgarity, surely I could do just clean, good humor.
I would like to see him in a talk show, you know, and sit down and talk.
Well, they canceled Mandel.
I mean,
That's
in
a good
talk
time
show,
slot.
I think so.
They canceled Howie Mandel, and you would like that time.
Howie's great, by the way. Why they cancel him, I'll never know.
That would be a great...
Howie, if you're listening, you're dynamite. And by the way, Martin Short's getting one. He's going to be dynamite also. And if you
Dynamite right into the ratings.
Yeah,
show.
it'll be the same kind of
Martin, if you're
dynamite.
listening, Martin Short, I read in the paper yesterday, Bernie Brillstein, who was my ex-manager.
Right.
I said, you're looking for talent. My name is Pat Cooper. You don't have to look so far.
Right. You are available. Yeah.
What are they looking for? I'm right in front of you. I'm like a tree right in front of you.
You would be a great ensemble
I
player.
would be great with Martin Short, Harry Short, and Nicky Long.
Right.
What, are you kidding me?
I think you're terrific.
They're looking for Star Search. I'm right in front of you, blind bastards. What's the matter with you? Give me a break.
Pat, you're absolutely right. I want to thank you for being here. I love having you on here. You know that. Please come again.
But don't tell me to walk off the street anytime. I want to come on.
Anytime you want, walk off the street. I don't care. But I might have to bump you.
You know why? I would never do it. You know I can. I would never do such a thing. But I thank you for
I love having you here. I think you're a big talent.
I think so.
I mean, never mind Martin Short. I put you on.
I like Martin Short. I like, and I like my buddy here. He's a nice...
You like Mark Harris.
And Robin, I love you. I love you all. And thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Pat. Oh, he's walking out.
Pat's walking out before you can dismiss him. He doesn't like your dismissal.
I know I'm in trouble.
You're never supposed to...
Pat Cooper will be on the Fox News. Pat Cooper will be on the news channel on Saturday at 4 p.m. He has
Sunday and Monday.
And he has a pilot show called Manja Manja, and he's in the process of writing a book called The Bodyguard. And you can see him doing his stand-up act all over the country. He's a very, very talented man.
Pat Cooper.
Bye, Pat. All right.
Bye, Pat.
Right.
I think he's running from Mark, actually.
I don't know. He's leaving. Yeah, I think he's running out of here because Mark's here. He's great.
There's a clairvoyant outside who was a clairvoyant for Nicole Simpson. He read my stars. I figured you just have to meet him.
He was
Joe Franklin
Nicole Simpson's clairvoyant.
I know.
He couldn't be very good.
He has documentation.
You know what I'll do? Let me take a break. You sit here.
Yeah.
And I want to meet your therapist, and I want to meet your clairvoyant.
Oh, but meet the bodyguard first. It's built like a refrigerator.
Yeah, I want to meet everyone.
Okay.
Because you're fascinating.
Because it's a new group every time he comes in, too.
Yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
What do you do with these people?
Who is this?
Jimmy, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Howard.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? Best of luck to you. I hope everything works out for
Thank you, Jimmy.
Well, I was in Little Italy Deli a while ago, over a month ago. I think it was...
Little Italy is disappearing.
Where is Little Italy anymore?
Well, it's like down to one block.
It's
Little Italy,
very little now.
Little Italy used to be the best. Used to go down there and have a good time. But I see it's disappeared. A lot of the Chinese...
The Chinatown is overtaken us.
Chinese are growing like it's China.
Yeah, the gooks are taking over everything.
What is it that...
listen,
well, I don't know about
Howard.
that, but the Chinese... what is it that the... Yeah, right. What is it that the Chinese... I mean, they populate.
They like rabbits.
They like rabbits.
Well, I think Pat Cooper was in there, and he was bad-mouthing you.
Oh, please.
Well, listen.
I think it was. He has, like, reddish-brown hair, big glasses.
Yeah.
He looks different in person. And he was just saying, like, well, what goes up must go down. He was telling the deli guy, he's going to get his eventually. Look what's happening. Everything you say, it's coming back to you now.
Well, whatever. Listen,
But he was really, ranting and raving. I don't know if that's...
Listen, whatever. What
I think maybe it wasn't him. I don't want to get him in trouble if it wasn't him.
I've done nothing but good stuff for Pat Cooper if he's got a problem.
You can't do enough for some people, apparently.
But if he was bad-mouthing me, as he often says, your listeners are saying this about me, and I never bad-mouth you, but who knows? What can I tell you?
Well...
Who cares anymore, you know what I mean?
Well, I thought he was on your side.
Well, I don't seem to find too many people on my side.
Well, I am. You're the best.
Thanks.
Nobody like you.
Thank you.
All right, Howard, nice talking to you.
Pat Cooper's on the air. Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
What do you say, buddy?
Cooper?
Wow. Who's this?
Howard.
Howard, let me ask you a question.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Pat.
Many more to you. I got a guy called me up and played me a tape.
Yes.
That somebody called you a couple of weeks ago that I badmouthed you. And I'm saying, wait a minute.
I didn't entertain it.
No, I didn't say you did.
Okay.
But I'm only angry at your lady friend over there.
Who's that?
Robin.
She said...
You talking about Angie?
This is the greatest.
She said there's some people you can't do enough for.
I didn't mean you.
And I got news for you. Hey, Robin, when's the last time you picked up a check? And when's the last time you ever discovered anybody or gave anybody anything to make a remark like that? Are you nuts? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Some people you can't do enough for. What? Let me ask you something.
Sometimes when
Howard's done a lot of nice things, and I think I've contributed to that program with my heart. Good, bad, or indifferent. But when you turn around and throw an ad-lib like that, I'm saying, wait a minute. You think I got nothing but time to badmouth people? I'm a man, for crying out loud. I make mistakes like everybody else, but I don't want to be put in that situation.
Pat.
Yeah, Pat. Let's see Pat.
For a second, if it were true, might it not seem that way? And I was only going by what the guy said.
Why did you call me, Robin?
If that were the case,
why did you call me and correct
maybe you can't do enough for some people.
Excuse me, darling. Why not
say Robin is mistaken? Let me call her up and tell her she is mistaken.
Well, sweetheart, you are mistaken.
All right, there we go.
But honey,
I was mistaken.
Somebody just played the tape for me, and I'm flabbergasted. I'm saying, what did I ever do? I don't understand how stupid. Howard.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
All right. What's in the air today?
Is this bad mouthing you?
Where have you been? How come you haven't been on the show lately? What are you busy with?
I'm ready to go.
Oh, you are?
I'm ready to go and bite your face. Let me ask you something.
Yes?
When someone asked me what I thought about your personal, with your wife, you know what I said? It's none of my business. Is that bad mounting you?
No.
Oh, that's what your personal life.
That's exactly what you should say.
But I said it's none of my business. I don't give a goddamn one way or the other.
Right.
You never can stop it. It's not.
In other words, you probably feel some warmth toward me and feel bad that I have to go through this.
I would turn around and bend over backwards. That these things don't happen.
Right.
And hey, Robin.
Yes.
Don't ever ice skate on water because it don't work.
Whatever that means.
You know what it means.
You have to come in here soon and straighten this out.
Well, I'll come in anytime.
All right.
I'm here for another week.
All right, thank you, Pat.
You'll be well and take care.
Happy
Bye,
New Year.
Robin.
Oh, goodbye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Jeez.
Happy New Year.
Let's go on. I didn't say anything.
She don't want to get started.
I say lots. I say plenty.
That makes me so mad.
Ooh, Reuben Carter is the subject of a new film. It's called The Hurricane. What did he think of the film the first time he saw it?
I tried to sit there with a very objective view towards the consistency of the picture.
He's definitely got some prison lingo. Toward the consistency.
Sure. And whether everybody in the picture were doing their proper jobs.
Everybody in the picture was doing their proper jobs. I got to remember that.
That's what I looked for.
I was looking for the consistency. That's that prison thing, right? You try to use big words to intimidate. I was looking for the consistency. You hear a brother talking like that, you know he's been in prison.
He's been behind bars.
Yeah, a lot of time to sort of like pick up a few big words.
Dear.
I saw that the crew did a magnificent job. The whole crew.
Yes, Baba Booey?
Baba Booey. You said something on the air last week. I was reading a review of the movie in Sports Illustrated. Said same thing you said. It's a great movie, but there's not a grain of truth in it.
Yeah, right.
Baba Booey. They said there's like 100 facts in there that are just made up for the movie. Baba Booey.
I don't know that there's no truth to his wrongful incarceration.
That's the one thing in the movie that's true. But they made up a character who's a white cop who started following him around since he was 8 years old, who didn't exist, calling him the N-word, and set him up for the crime, which isn't true.
Right.
And the real story is so cool. What are you going to make all that junk up for?
I mean, isn't that fueling the fire?
Write the movie.
All right. Are we? Anything left?
That's what's happening.
What is it, Kim? I'll let you have the last word.
What is your problem with Hurricane?
Hurricane?
Yes. Did
no
you
problem.
See the movie?
No, not at all. But they say that they made up a lot of the facts. Like, the white...
No, they didn't.
The white guy chasing him since he's 8 years old, the cop framing him?
That was true.
No, they're saying there was no...
See, all of you are arguing about stuff you don't know about.
I'm telling you, it is true. Did you read the book?
Don't mean the book is true.
Did you see his interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And what happened?
You know what happened.
What?
I saw it, then I turned it off. All right, I got to go. Goodbye, Kim. This is so silly. I really don't know anything about Hurricane Carter. I'll be honest with you. I really could care less. You know what I mean? Gary couldn't make a mistake, could he?
Oh, please. Pretty sure.
Pretty sure, Wolf. I was sure at the time I said it.
I think the only thing that's true is his name was Hurricane.
May I defend myself quickly?
Please.
So I'm reading from this article out of Sports Illustrated, and it's talking about some of the things that are factually incorrect.
You know they say you were a beaver in a past life?
That's correct. Well, yes, sir. So it says that Carter was stalked since childhood by a racist cop, robbed of a decision in a middleweight title fight, framed for a triple homicide by the racist cop, and wrongly convicted by 2 all-white juries.
You're saying none of that happened in his life?
Well, they're saying that the facts are the depraved stalker cop is a fabrication. The boxing match, by contemporary accounts, people who were there and saw it, was won fairly by the middleweight, and 2 blacks sat on the second jury that convicted Carter. The film also conveniently fails to mention that at the time of the triple homicide, Carter had already served 4 years in prison for 3 different muggings.
Right.
So does that mean that there's a lot of...
I don't know the man's story. I didn't say anything.
Did you see the report?
And then it goes on.
It turns to me like I started this argument.
Yeah, Rob.
Well, no, because I heard you make the last comment.
I'm carrying on with the show.
Yeah, you know what?
You've never made a mistake in any of your facts.
Can I tell you something, baby? Pat Cooper's right about you.
You're the one who set me up with that comment to say about Pat Cooper, telling me those stories.
What are you talking about?
You tell me me the stories about your phone conversations with Pat.
You were mad at Pat because Pat did something that you didn't like, and I just told you what it was.
Who told me what it was?
Exactly. I told you something Pat did, then you decided not to like it.
Me up, and now Pat's mad at me.
All right, let's.
Boy, oh boy.
All right, listen. We got to call an end to the show.
What this to the goddesses?
Suddenly, I'm Ike and you're Tina, for Christ's sake. Like I'm beating you.
What?
Like I'm beating you into thinking something.
No. That's a wrong analogy.
You have your own thoughts.
That's a bad analogy.
You have your own thoughts.
Bad analogy.
Did I make you think it?
Bad analogy.
Did I make you think it?
See you on the show tomorrow, everybody.
Who this?
Cash.App, $MilkCratemarauder. Venmo, @MilkCratemarauder.
You stupid bastard.